Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Jamuhuri Day, wherever you are. This is Skyman TV, the tourist man in Black Africa. William Samoei Ruto is presiding his second Jamuhuri celebrations. He is leading the nation in the celebration of Jamuhuri Day. And he has just 3 more Jamuhuri days to lead this nation. That means clearly William Samoei Ruto and his administration have 3 years in office. And he's leading these celebrations when the country is experiencing serious problems. Kenya at 60 can be compared to a child who is still crawling. And what happened to this country is that when you look at the independence from the first 13 years, Kenya was facing in the right direction. In 1977, when people started agitating for the change of constitution, we lost this country. And again, when Moi took over for 3 years, he was a very good man. He was a very good president. And again, for 21 years, he continued to plunder and destroy this nation. It is until Kibaki took over for 10 years when we had what we would call development. However, we had a challenge in 2007. We remember the tribal clashes. Then Uhuru took over. We saw a lot of infrastructure. Tukaona maendeleo mengi sana. Tukajivunia mambo mengi sana. Na William Samoei Ruto took over the leadership of this country when the economy was stable. He took over after Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta had managed to bring this nation to prosperity, and the GDP was growing, or the economy was growing at 6.4. In my view, it was something that was good. Although it was rather than Kibaki's time, because Kibaki, it had hit 10%. Wakati wa Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, because of COVID, because of so many factors, it had to be lowered all the way to 6.4. But William Samoei Ruto, who is still leading this third world poor country, is confronted by various challenges. So in this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to look at the various challenges that are facing William Samoei Ruto. And he has just 3 years in office. And the big question that Kenyans are asking, is he going to surmount the odds? Is he going to turn the tables? Because from where I sit, already he has failed the test. From where I sit, already he has wrote the script. Already, I think William Samoei Ruto was more popular. It were better if he remained the deputy president than vying for the presidency, because when you look at it, he is not achieving much. So, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to this channel at this time and like this video. And let's now look at the various challenges that are facing William Samoei Ruto. And because he has just 3 years in office, then we can be able to see and ask ourselves if he is going to surmount the odds. The first thing that he's facing is rebellion within his party. We have seen even ministers being shouted down. We saw it in Mukomen, we saw it in Davis Chichil, we saw it in Malonza, Kule, Ukabani. And Kenyans are asking what is happening. Because when you look at the crowd has remained or has turned out to be very hostile to the UDA and Kenya Kwanza administration. And they're doing it even in the presence of William Samoei Ruto. As I talk, I can tell you for sure that for those who are elected on UDA ticket, especially in the mountain and in the Rift Valley, they are finding it tough to visit their constituencies. Because simply, the Kenyans electorate have become very, very hostile to them, and they're asking hard questions. Especially, they are comparing them, they are putting them to task, because what happened is that they promised them so many things, pay some fukoni, everything, so many things. You know, the many promises that were given by UDA and William Samoei Ruto. We don't need to emulate all of them here, but you know that there were many. And because they are not fulfilling this, then they have found the ground very, very hostile. Again, we are in an economic meltdown. Remember, none other than the CS Treasury, Joanna Dongo, is telling Kenyans that the government is broke, that they are finding it even very difficult to pay salaries for civil servants. But now, when you look at William Samoei Ruto, he is putting a bullish face and is telling Kenyans that he has stabilized the economy. So, would you believe the technocrat or the politician? Because Jogona Dongo, from where I sit, is a technocrat, is somebody who understands the economy so well. Even the bank, that is the top bank, is telling us that things are not working. The governor of central bank is telling us the economy is not growing. Is telling us things are not good from where he sits. But when you have William Ruto trying to put a bullish face, trying to convince Kenyans that the economy is prospering, that he has stabilized the economy, then you know that this is just but politics. Again, the government of William Ruto is confronted by serious corruption. Every day we are seeing new crises or new scandals. You read everywhere. Every day we wake up to a new scandal, from the fuel scandal. Remember Angeri, na sasa haya mambo sijui hiyo habari iliishia wapi. You remember the way the edible oil that was brought and the country lost 16.5 billion. Remember the rice scandal, 16.5 billion. Remember the Kemsa scandal. So it has become a country of scandals. But the most hurting thing is that the government is not confronting this problem. The government is not even arresting these guys who are associated with corruption. And he is not willing to fight corruption. And the corruption that was devolved in the county governments, because in the devolved units, we have a lot of corruption going there. We have governors who are ready to sell the counties. We have governors who are stealing money from right center everywhere. And the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is not biting. It is just there. And Kenyans are asking big questions. For example, when you look at it, look at these people. Some of the cabinet secretaries have been associated with theft. We have seen them changing lifestyle. We have seen them buying even choppers. We have seen them buying fast aid homes and so many things. So corruption is something that is confronting William Samoei Ruto's administration. Again, he is leading the nation at a time of blackout. Even from where I sit today, I think from yesterday, this is the third time that we have having a blackout. Within 24 hours, 3 blackouts. That is what is happening to this country. That is what is happening. I don't know where you are kama kuna stima, kwa sababu stima zinapimwa kama dawa siku hizi. And before you know what is happening, in fact, Kenyans are becoming used to this. It's a country of blackout. And we saw it even nationally. And we even gave a podcast, give a video about the same. And no good explanation is being given. And William Samoei Ruto, we know that he sent his CS Energy, that is Devil's Teaching, to tell Kenyans that we are going to have blackouts. Many, there are going to be many. And he told us we are going to have even rationing of power. Electricity rationing is something that should not happen in a country like Kenya. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are also having a team that is very inefficient. William Samoei Ruto is leading a very inefficient cabinet, the most useless cabinet ever seen in independent Kenya. Since 1960, you cannot compare this cabinet to Jomo Kenyatta's first cabinet that was full of technocrats. You cannot even compare it to Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. Moi was even better. You cannot compare it to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. You cannot compare it to team achievers of Moi Kibaki that changed this country. Remember, Kibaki took power when he was on a wheelchair, and William Samoei Ruto took over power. The man was energetic. The president had all the stamina, where he don't have any health challenges. But what he gave Kenyans is a very inefficient cabinet. And the earlier, the better he reshuffle the cabinet. In fact, he should do away with the whole cabinet and come up with a new body. So come new year, then William Samoei Ruto, if at all he is going to continue with this inefficient team, there is no much he is going to achieve. He is also becoming the president when he is having poor relationship with his former boss. You know, it is not good for this country when the current president, the former president, are not having good relationship. It is good when they have a good relationship. It is good for this country. It is good for the diplomacy. It is good for prosperity. It is good for national unity. But what we have is a regime that is out there to victimize, that is out there to revenge And when you look at it, they are criticizing the former regime. They are, everything is associated, any failure is associated with the former regime. And the last time we checked, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta handed over power to William Samoei Ruto, peace-free, and he went home. So any failure should not be associated with the handshake government, because we cannot keep on dwelling on the past. We have to focus on the future. Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Ruto is also confronted with trust issues. When you look at the African leaders are questioning William Samoei Ruto. Is he an agent of Western nations? Is he the herdsmaid of American government and the British government? Because he talk about the decolonization of the economy, and then the following day, he is taking breakfast with the IMF and the World Bank. He criticizes them, and then the other day, he is praising them, that they are helping him to stabilize the economy. So when you look at the African leaders, they have started questioning him, because what he has been doing, he has been coming out very strongly in the international stage, and he's coming out as an ambassador of climate. And even that ambassador of climate change, what is happening is that people are saying that what is happening is that Africa, Kenya, doesn't have much to do with climate change. The people who contribute to the pollution, the people who destroy our environment are the developed nations. So it's not a priority in Africa. The priority is development. The priority is to eradicate poverty and diseases. The priority is to remove ignorance, is to eradicate ignorance among the population. Ladies and gentlemen, again, there is also the issue of tribalism. Tribalism has escalated in this country. Since William Samoei Ruto became the president, people have been divided along tribal lines. In fact, none other than the deputy president tells Kenyans that this is a country of shareholders. And those who voted for Azimio have no business expecting anything from this government. So you can see that this government is completely corrupt. This government is tribal, and meritocracy have no room in this government. We are having a serious problem. We are not going to have any development. That is what we are getting from this government. That no new roads is going to be constructed. What they are going to do, they are going to finish Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's project. And even those projects, they are not keen to finish them. I don't think they have constructed even a kiosk anywhere. Although they have taken loans, huge loans, amounting to 1.2 trillion. And by the end of this year, they have borrowed more than 4 trillion. But they cannot be able to show anything. They cannot be able to show any project that they have carried out. So we are confronted with serious problem, the borrowing crisis, because he is borrowing. Most of these trips that you see William Samoei Ruto going is borrowing. Kuoba, kukopa, nini? Na hii mikopo itaishia wapi? Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Ruto is leading this nation, the second Jamuhuri, since he took over. But there is no hope if you ask me. He has lost the script. Wananchi wametamauka kabisa. Is he going to save this nation? Is he the right person in State House? Is he the right president? Because he has been telling Kenyans that God made him the president when the country is having problems, so that he can solve this problem because he's equal to the task. The big question is the president equal to the task? Is he going to move this country to the next level?